morning, our wonderful listeners, and welcome once again to another informative edition of Glaucoma on Radio, proudly brought to you by the Eye Specialist Hospital Tash, Enugu State, in partnership with Solid 100.9 FM. Chibika James is my name, and it's always a pleasure having you join us as we continue to raise awareness about glaucoma, which is a silent eye disease that remains one of the leading causes of irreversible blindness worldwide. Well, over the past several weeks, we have discussed different aspects of glaucoma, from understanding the disease and the importance of early detection to safe driving and even living positively after a diagnosis. Well, one thing that we have discovered is that people have many questions about glaucoma. Some would ask, can glaucoma be cured? Others want to know, will I eventually go blind? Some wonder whether the disease runs in the family, while others are concerned about using eye drops for the rest of their lives. Unfortunately, many people rely on rumors, misinformations, or advice from unqualified sources instead of speaking with an eye care professional. As a result, myths spread, fear increases, and some people daily seek treatment until significant delay seeking treatment, until significant vision has already been lost. That is why today's program is different, because today we are dedicating the entire program to answering some of your questions. We are dedicating it to know what the people ask more often about glaucoma. Whether you have been diagnosed with glaucoma, or you have family members living with the condition, or simply, you want to learn about protecting your sight. Well, today's discussion is for you. Remember, when it comes to your vision, no question is too simple, and no concern is too small. So today, our topic is FAQs. Ask your glaucoma doctor. So ladies and gentlemen, it's more like an open section where you get to call and ask any eye-related questions, especially that of glaucoma, and I'm sure Doc right here will be able to give the best possible answer. But before we dive into that, Doc, good morning. We have Dr. Suhaya Okeke right here in the studio. Good morning, ma'am, and good to have you once again.
Good morning, Chibuke, and good morning, all our listeners.
Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, you heard it. The phone lines will immediately be open. So if you've got questions as regards your eyes, feel free to call in and ask your questions. And we are also, if you are having issues reaching us on the phone lines, you can also send us a text to the numbers, and even send us a text on WhatsApp. We sure would read your questions out for Doc to answer. So stick around, don't go anywhere. Once again, the numbers are 0704 550 2840. Doc, let's start with the basics like we always do, bringing everyone the foundation of what we are talking about. What is glaucoma, and once again, why is it called the silent thief of the sight?
Okay, thank you for that question, and thank you for that reminder. Yes, glaucoma. We have heard this name often and often. At least if we have not heard something, we know it is an eye condition that leads to blindness. And blindness from glaucoma is irreversible. And that is why we are always on the air talking about it. Now, when we say glaucoma is a disease of the eye. It is the eye, the nerve of the eye is called the optic nerve. It is the eye is simply like a bulb, and it is connected through to the brain through some wire, and that wire is responsible for all the transmission. What you see, all the things you are seeing is passed to the brain. So something gets missed or cut in between, and therefore the signals are no longer transmitted to the brain. So the nerve is sick. That wire you are talking about is sick. So the signals are no more going, and because you are not perceiving the signals, it now causes blindness. Now, the sad thing about glaucoma is that it causes irreversible blindness. Now, if you go blind from glaucoma, you cannot really get any part of the vision you have lost. So you just have to ensure that you have an eye check and know how healthy is this wire looking like. The optic nerve, or the cable that is transmitting this signal, in a simplified form, we are all familiar with the copper wire. Copper wire has a lot of twigs running together and clustered together, and then bundled by either red or black or green or whatever color and wrapped up. So in the eye, you have like 1.2 million fibers that make up this optic nerve, the cable that is sending the signal. At the earliest stages, and remember we have two eyes, so each of the eye is privileged to have 1.2 million fibers roughly. Now, at the earliest stages, when you are losing like 50,000, 100,000, 200,000, 400,000, you may not have any feeling that something is happening in your eye, because signals are still being transmitted. You still have a huge chunk left, so signals are still being transmitted. And then also remember that as some part of the signals are being lost, the other eye compensate for it, and apart from your eye trying to compensate the missing information, your brain tries to fill it up. So because the brain and the eye work hand in hand, they collaborate, they have tried to cover up their problems, so you don't really feel it. Glaucoma is called the silent thief of sight because at the earliest stage you keep losing your peripheral vision, that is your side vision. The way you see by your side is lost. But because it is the side vision and you can turn right, left, up, down, you don't seem to be noticing it, because when you miss something, you can easily compensate, can be compensated using the other eye. So the other eye tries to see, you involuntarily turn your head, you have a neck that is highly mobile, so you switch and it keeps relaying good information to the brain, and the brain itself, when the missing input is minimal, it tries to figure it out and fill it. Brain is a very smart organ, it tries to fill it up and help us out, so you don't really notice anything. So at this stage, if the detection can be done, something fishy is going wrong in your eye, it is easier. We can halt the damage that has already started taking place. The doctor sees your eye, he checks, he assesses everything. He now sends you for some investigation and says, oh, no, you are likely a suspect, or you have early disease, or you have a moderate disease or advanced. He now says, look, this problem has started taking place, but this way we can stop it so that it doesn't continue to damage. It's like a tap is broken, but you are trying to make a remedy so that it doesn't keep opening and all the water goes out. So there is a kind of, you want to arrest an impending situation that is going to be a disaster for you. So, but how do we detect it? We can't really detect it by ourselves. Even when we say close one eye, close the other eye, you can only check some of these things. Glaucoma can only give you symptoms when the disease is advanced. At the very early stage, you may not have a single symptom. So it becomes more technical. Why are we don't really have any problem. I can go to work, I can read everything. The doctor told me to read the chart. I read it.
Yeah.
The first to the last.
Yeah.
And he said it is very good. I went and checked the eye pressure and they said it is 10 or 11 and they said it is good. But, and then, why are they asking me to come and check my eye? Or is it that they are creating job around themselves? No. Those things you are testing, they are good, but then much has to be done to know about the health of that wire, the optic nerve, so that we know how healthy the nerve is. If we look at it and the nerve is healthy, we tell you it is healthy. If the nerve is suspicious, we will tell you, yes, you are not yet a glaucoma patient, but you remain a suspect. When we say suspect, we have not started you on any treatment, but what we are trying to say is, please don't go off the radar of the doctors, because maybe because we said you are okay, you come back after 5 years, the damage has already taken place and it has started progressing. And it is such a funny situation, because in glaucoma, when these nerves start dying, those fibers, 1.2 million fibers we are talking about, when some of those fibers die, we call the retinal ganglion cells. When they start dying, when they die, they release some chemicals. They become toxic to the existing healthy nerve. So the kind of death is somewhat accelerated. So you don't want it, we just need to hold that process of cell death at that phase so that further damage will not take place.
Talking about this further damage, I would love for you to explain the difference between, curing glaucoma and controlling it.
Okay, beautiful question, and thank you for that. Glaucoma as a disease entity does not have a cure. I mean, yes, you come, we give you some drugs, we do surgery, we go. I can give you a scenario. You have cataract. There is a white patch in the eye, the lens is cloudy. You come, you remove, replace it with artificial lens, you go home. That is curable. Cataract is curable. You have changed the lens and you are fine. Okay, you go home. But in the case of glaucoma, you come, we tell you you have glaucoma at early stage, advanced stage, moderate stage, whatever case may be. But we cannot tell you we are curing it. We control the pressure, okay, the intraocular pressure or the eye pressure, so that there is no further damage to the nerve that is in question. so that the glaucoma damage does not progress. So that if you are at early stage, you don't progress to moderate. If you are at moderate, you don't want the patient to progress to advanced stage. From advanced, you don't want to progress to end stage. So at whatever stage you find yourself, it is a kind of, we are trying to arrest the situation that yes, by doing this method of treatment, I can stop the disease from moving from point A to point B or point B to C. Okay, so it is a controllable disease, but not a curable disease. The hallmark of early detection is that, the end point of glaucoma is blindness. Now, the hallmark of early detection and coming for treatment, checkups, and all that is we want to delay the onset of blindness and possibly prevent blindness from you for life. And securing someone from blindness means securing your independence for life, and that is the fight we are in. Okay. Blindness makes one to be dependent on another individual for so many things, and the moral, psychological, physical burden on your person as a human being before the others is quite high. So it is better we all owe ourselves a duty to ensure that we can secure our own independence by taking a walk to the doctor. Let them look into the nerve, because as of now this camera cannot just tell you yes, you can just take a picture of the nerve. Maybe in the years coming it can happen. Technology is moving fast. They are also working on such things so that when you take the image, you send it to the doctors, they can analyze and all that, but we are not yet there. So for now, you just have to go to the eye doctor. The eye doctor will check all the things he can check and let you know your nerve is healthy, there is no need to worry, your nerve is not okay, you need to come. Now this is also more important for those that have family members who have blindness or who have glaucoma or who have some unknown eye condition that have made them to be visually challenged. Okay, you don't know the cause of the problem, so it is important, even if it is your distant relative, your great grandmother, or sometime in this part of the world we think my granny was old, she was 100, and she was seeing until the last days, but before she died she did not see. Old age does not mean it must go with blindness. So old age does not warrant you to be blind. So if you were blind, if she was blind, there was something that made her to be blind. So there is a risk of you having the disease is high. So it is important that you know in your family, either from your maternal home or paternal home, there is someone that had a visual challenge, eye challenge. Because of that, I have to be more proactive in seeking for care.
Interesting. But let's I've always been asking myself, I'm glad you talk about people with family history and all of that. What exactly causes glaucoma? Is it like a transferable disease, or just like cough that if you stay somewhere near someone that has it, you automatically have it, or something like that? How does it come about?
No, it doesn't work that way. It's a genetic disease.
A genetic disease.
Okay. When we say genetic, it means when we are born, there is something called genes. Genes are like blueprints, chips in your body. They got the information from your father and from your mother. They it is the blueprint of your own human body. So they collect half of it from the an individual receive 50% from the father, 50% from the mother. That makes the individual a whole being. Now, these genes give instruction to the body, signals that look, this person's eye will look like a father. Maybe your eye will look like.
Doc, hold on. Let's take this call. Sorry, before we continue. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, morning to you.
Doctor,
Yes.
I want to find out if it's how the optician finds out whether the mask is working. Is it true that no touch they use or what?
What's no touch? Okay, no problem. Doc, is it true the small touch people use?
Thank you for that question, sir. It is important to know all this. A touch cannot do the work. A touch can tell us something, but there are more important gadgets to check into the eye. Most people use handheld devices, but when you use the handheld, you also use other devices to confirm what you see. Sometimes you are at the verge of being suspected, so to confirm it, you still move further to use other devices. Okay, we have the slit lamps with some lenses, then you have the machines, the visual field analyzers to check how much you are seeing by the side. You have the scanners to check exactly what percentage of the retinal nerve fiber layer or optic nerve head that is being, all those ganglion cells we are talking about, what percentage are we really losing at this point. That one cannot be done with the help of touch. Touch doesn't do the work. For the very least, at least you should use an ophthalmoscope to detect, but to confirm you have to proceed further than that.
Okay, I'm sure we've answered that. So, Doc, you can continue with what we're talking about, saying that it is not. Okay, it's the gene. Yeah.
We were talking about genes. So these genes are like blue chips. So they receive 50% from the father and mother. They actually give instruction to the body on how you are going to look. For instance, your two eyes can come from your father, your nose can come from the mother, your hair, your mother, and some different aspect. Even inside, the eyelash might look like your father, the eyeball might look like the mother. And in that, it is not only the physical trait, how your appearance look that comes. Even some diseases are handed over from parents to children, and sometimes they don't even appear in one generation. That is, you in your own family it did not happen, but one way or the other it has been handed over to you. Now you yourself will hand over what you inherited to your own children, and they carry it to another generation. Somewhere it is buried, but when they find suitable environment, it might manifest. Sometimes they can lie dormant without causing any trouble. Sometimes they manifest. So at the point where we are, we cannot say we can detect these genes. It's a more cumbersome task. So in a nutshell, we can easily find, is there anyone in your family who was blind? Is there anyone in your family who had glaucoma? Or is there anyone in your family who was short-sighted? Because short-sighted people have higher incidence of getting glaucoma. So were they changing glasses frequently? So these are individuals who are at risk of developing glaucoma. So it is very important to know those that are at risk, and those people should come for checkups more early than every other person. But on a general note, coming early for checkups, especially as you age 40 years and above, it is important that you go for a comprehensive eye examination.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it from the doc. It is still an open section. Yes, question and answers. If you've got any questions about glaucoma on your eyes, feel free. We're taking your calls. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning to you.
Good morning, Kamara. Okay, my name is Chika. I'm calling from non-football club.
Welcome, Chika.
Okay. My question is, somebody, for me, when I look at something, I will be seeing something maybe on the wall I'm looking at on the air. Sports like that. Does it mean glaucoma? And recently, when I see person from very far, the face of that person don't recognize until that person comes closer to me. So, that is my question.
Doc, did you get 2 questions?
Yes, please.
Okay, just keep listening. All right, thank you. Doc? Yeah.
Mr. Chika, thank you for that question. Now, you said you see spots in whenever you are in the air, and whenever you look, it moves. Yes, these are situations we call it cobwebs in the field of vision. Cobwebs
from spider.
So they are like floaters. They are moving about. They are not really anything, but you are seeing their perception. They are moving. But when you have such a complaint, you cannot jolly well. It can just be an aging change. It can be an ominous sign of something more significant. It is certainly not a sign of glaucoma, but there are other conditions that can give it. It can be very benign as if aging, but it can be something more to it. So you wouldn't want to stay at home and get a solution. I will advise you to see an eye doctor. They will dilate your eye, do some investigations that will clearly point out to where your problem will be. Now, you also have the next question. You are unable to see far
until the
especially faces are not very clear to you. You sincerely need a holistic evaluation of your eye. Apart from glaucoma, there are other things that can happen in your eye, and these 2 complaints you outlined are not characteristic complaints of glaucoma, but it may be something may be wrong in your eye, and on the air, on the radio, we cannot really solve it. I can only advise you to seek eye care early as possible, so that whatever that is happening can be taken care of. Please.
Well, Mr. Chika, you've had it. You need to seek proper, eye care. You go for checkups, and that is what we always, advise people on this program. You cannot know it all, and some persons also might be living with these for many years, and they'll say it's just they'll take eye drop and it will go and all of that, and not going for proper examination for them to understand what exactly is wrong with them.
It is quite wrong. If you really think something that is normal is happening in your eye, do not go to the chemist and be buying drug. You wouldn't know what they are giving you. They can give you something. Sometimes they give steroid. Most chemists, the pharmacy chemists that are run here are not really guided by controls. So steroids are being sold indiscriminately, and steroids, they are beautiful drugs. They help you, but you should be very cautious. They can as well give you glaucoma. So indiscriminate use of it can put you in trouble. So go to the doctor. They will give you the appropriate medicine and not the chemist drugs.
All right. Hello. Morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning to you.
I'm going to be
Mr. Ndubisi from Ungwo, good to have you.
yeah. I'm a victim of blindness.
You're a victim of what?
Night blindness.
Glaucoma blindness.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, the problem now is, anytime I used to have eyes.
Ndubisi, we are struggling to hear you. Can you move away from where you are?
Okay. I said, the problem I have is that one clothes. I used to have chimney work.
Ndubisi, I'm sorry, we can't continue with that call. Maybe you call us back. There is a break in your communication, you understand? So maybe you move away from where you are and hit the call button again, okay? Thank you very much, Ndubisi. Well, Doc, we've got a text message. This one is asking, can glaucoma affect younger people, or does it only affect older adults?
Good question. Glaucoma can affect the old and the young as well as the children. Anybody can.
Babies.
Neonates can be affected. In
Wow.
every age group can be affected.
Wow.
But it is quite common amongst the adults. Okay, as from 40 above in our setup, 30 above are affected. So it's, especially if you have family history, you are more at risk. But those that have family history, you know, father has glaucoma, mother has glaucoma, you don't really need to wait for that cutoff or 30 or 40 to come. I just know that it is important to go for a check. You might not have to, if you are young, you might not have to go every year, except your doctor tells you to come yearly. You just go for at least once in 2 years or 3 years. Go and check your eyes. If there is a problem, doctor will tell you how frequently you should be coming. That way you know the status of your eye. A baby does not mean that baby cannot have glaucoma. Babies can as well be born with glaucoma blindness. So everything is possible, but it is quite common in the adult population.
Right. Another message. This one says, there are many herbal remedies and miracle cures advertised for glaucoma. Should I listen to them before trying alternative treatments that promises to, restore my vision and permanently cure glaucoma?
Thank you for that question. It goes on in the mind of many, especially now that we have social media campaign going on. There is no cure, whether it is a herbal remedy or orthodox remedy, that can really cure blindness from glaucoma. It's not possible within the context of science. Whatever you can do now is to delay the onset of blindness. So please, those herbal concoctions, that is no, if they tell you to take pineapple and put ginger and take, it is less harmful. When they say it is packaged and bottled and one bottle is given to you, you don't know the content of what you are taking. You are trying to treat your eye. Remember, you are taking it through the mouth, and whatever you are taking, toxins are cleared through your kidney. It damages the kidney. So you have to be very careful when you are taking a herbal medication. Most herbal medications don't have labels. They don't have information on what is inside.
All right. Let's take this call. Hello, morning.
Yeah, this is the Simon DBC from Ungwo.
All right, welcome. Much clearer.
Yeah, I said I have this blindness from glaucoma. Now, anytime I wash clothes, my eyes used to pain me too much, as if a lot of sand poured inside the eyes. What is that right from doctor, please? Do I stop washing clothes?
Okay, is it that you sit down and you bend down to wash your clothes or what?
I sit down, and when I want to rest, I bend.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Ndubisi, thank you very much for this question and your effort. I appreciate the challenges you are having. Now, bending down does not cause any irritation in the eye. I tend to think the chemicals, the detergents, the soap you are using might be irritating your eye. So it may now come with some sandy sensation, tearing and all that. First, give it a try to change the soap you are using and see how you are responding. But if it keeps persisting, there is no harm in checking with your doctor why you are having the complaint. But first, change the soap and see whether it is less irritating.
All right, so you heard it in the busy. Change the soap. There might be something from the soap that is, irritating your eyes. And doc, another text message. This one says, how often should people have comprehensive eye examination, especially those over the age of 40 or people that have family history of glaucoma?
Please, once a year, comprehensive eye examination is needed. Once every year is very important.
Okay, and this one says, many listeners, many people using smartphones, watching television, and all of that get to see some of these remedies. Could you help separate some of the facts and fictions that are being purported about glaucoma? I don't really get this question that much.
The information is not connecting what he is trying to ask.
Okay, let's go back to the phone lines. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Morning to you.
Yes, I'm sorry for the second time. I forget one important thing. Another problem I have concerning my eyes is that when sun comes out or any light, it is dazzling my eyes. But in the night, my eyes will be cool. I won't feel anything. But I used to, the sun used to disturb me.
Okay, all right. Sunlight disturb his eyes, but when it's night time.
That last caller, I wouldn't know how old you are. It's likely you may be developing a cataract, and usually it tends to scatter your vision as the sun comes up. Even in the night, if you're exposed to headlights of the car, it will be terrible. But usually towards evening you feel cool. But so it still boils down to you going back to see the doctor, because just know that this is a radio session and we cannot really cure. We can only guide you to what you are supposed to do.
All right. That question has the person who sent the question again. He said is asking whether reading too much, using smartphones, watching television, or working on computers causes glaucoma.
No, definitely no. Some people are worried when we read whether it gives glaucoma, too much eye strain. No, but digital devices in particular, phones, gadgets of all sorts, can give you what you call the computer vision syndrome or the digital eye strain, partly because your eyes are open, straight on. We are not blinking as we used to, because on a normal note we blink between 12 to 18 times a minute, but this blink reflex is abolished when you are on the system. So because of that, the tear is not coming down the eye. It's as if the lubrication is not in the eye surface. Okay, it's like an engine driving without oil. When a car drives without oil, it knocks engine. So in the case of eye, it is not yet knocking, but you are having a lot of friction. You come with a lot of complaints: peppery eye, sandy eye, tearing, a lot of complaint, lazy eye, and all that. So we advise you to take breaks while on the system. Look at something very far, blink, do at least the 20 blinks, and get back on track.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. And Doc, finally, in your field, as what you come across on daily basis, if you could correct one misconception about glaucoma that you hear, what would it be, and what final advice would you leave for our listeners today?
The misconception we typically face is, it is not in my generation. It is not in my generation. It is not my portion. Please,
my village people have finally gotten me.
Nothing of any illness is really, we don't really want it to be our portion, but sometimes we don't know many of the things. We don't really have a control over them. They are just given to you by nature or your God. You just take it to be like that. Wherever you find your circumstance, don't blame anybody for what you have. Take ownership for your problem. The eyes belong to you. I'm sure your village people don't own your eyes with you. It is your own body. You are with your own body, and you need those two eyes. So it is your responsibility to keep those eyes functioning. Those two little organs are beautiful, and they are self-sustaining. They are too helpful. Please don't ignore your eyes. Just ensure your eye is little pampered once a year. Just say happy birthday to your eye as you say happy birthday to yourself.
All right. Thank you very much, Doc, once again for answering these important questions. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope today's discussion have helped clear up, many misconceptions and giving our listeners the confidence to better take care of their eyesight. And to everyone listening, I want you all to remember that protecting your vision begins with knowledge. Don't wait until your problem. Don't wait until you notice problems, okay, with your eyesight before you go to see an eye specialist. Because from the calls we've gotten today, some of you know you have one or two issues, but still don't want to, go for proper checkup. Please do that, because glaucoma often develop without warning signs. Regular comprehensive eye examinations, as Doc said, at least once a year, remains your strongest defense against a preventable vision loss. And if you have learned something from today's episode, well, make sure you try to disseminate those information to your family, friends, and loved ones. For more information, or you want to book a comprehensive eye examination, please contact the Eye Specialist Hospital Tash on 0809 700 2020. Once again, 0809 700 2020. Vok, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right.